Monty and the Pharaoh. Duh.
I'm having one fun with Monty and the Pharaoh, and I'm going to put him in the crossface, and he's going to go down right now. Yeah.
Mr. Tommy Rich. Tommy, I'm a little concerned about you.
Please, Monty. Okay. Don't call me Mr. again. Every time somebody calls me Mr., I have to assume position.
Mr. Tommy Rich, how are you, Tommy?
Here I am, guys. I didn't think they was ever going to quit talking.
Yeah, really.
First off, Monty Fair, y'all, there's two reasons I wanted to come back to y'all's show, and don't think it's Monty and Pharaoh.
Oh, boy.
It's this nice T-shirt I got that says Monty and Pharaoh and the good wine. That's why I'm here.
Thoughts on the mullet, man? Like, what is why are you wearing a mullet at this point?
Well, we got a big 80s WrestleCon going on, and you never get to time travel. That 80s was my favorite time of life, man. And so, hey, for a Connor's cure for cancer, the mullet is in, baby. Hey, everybody better show out because it's going to be a big time there, man. I thank y'all for having me on your show, man.
You've made such a difference in people's lives, man. Think about that.
Man, we just blessed all of us, you know. I mean, thank God for wrestling fans, first off. Thank fans for following and just old school wrestling, man. I mean, God, the wrestling fans in the 80s, man, it's so cool to come back and just get, I mean, when I was 80s, that's the best time of my life, you know. So to get to come to y'all's show and plug Cure for Cancer and go back to the 80s again in my life, man, it ain't nothing but a blessing. And thank all them folks out there, because without y'all, man, there wouldn't be no me or them either one. So just thank y'all for tuning in and everything. And these two guys, they carrying the tradition on, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I always thought to myself, I'd already made the big time, really. I mean, just to get into professional wrestling. But I thought if I ever got to go to Georgia, because I seen Diggy Slater wrestling #2, it just them guys, it was just, you know, it was a big thing to me. And then I got the opportunity to go, man, and, you know, it was a blessing, man. But it had to be Georgia. But I love Memphis, too, because that's where I started.
You ever wish that you had maybe traveled more? Because as watching your whole career almost from afar through the wrestling magazines, and here in New York, we did get to see you on Georgia Championship Wrestling. But you were so over, and I always wondered, how come he never came to Vince? How come we only saw him in the NWA? Was it because you didn't like to travel? Because you know, we hear these things, but
it was. I just old Southern cornbread boy, to be honest. And to be honest, Roddy Piper had me booked one time for Vince, and at the time that's when WCW had started, and I'm not a big Crockett fan. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I just quit with them, and. Well, Crockett told me in Thunderbolt, he come in, he said, see, I'll never tell this story, but anyway, I love y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do tell.
Anyway, Crockett come in when he bought WCW, and he said, some of you guys will be hired, and some of you will be fired. Well, I knew I had a job, but I had a lot of friends, you know. I had a lot of guys that you know, I respected and loved too, you know. I mean, just my guys. And but anyway, the icing on the cake, the top of the story was he picked a few that he was going to fly to do TV, and he told me and Thunderbolt Patterson we was going to have to drive,
right?
You know, because we's rebels. You know, he didn't care for Thunderbolt, and he didn't care for me either. And which that's good, because I didn't care for Jim Crockett either. So you know, but
can I ask you, why didn't you care for Jim Crockett? He seemed very okay. Outsider looking in, just fans, seem very soft. Like, we look at Vince McMahon, this tough businessman, don't mess with him, he will just be done with you. I always felt like Crockett was so. Why didn't you like him?
See, this cooler done got me towed up, and I'm telling y'all the truth.
That's here, brother.
I hope Crockett questions it too. No, I went and did a big show for Crockett. I was hot off Atlanta now. I did a big show in Charlotte for him at the big building. It was like third from the last, but I was a draw. I mean, back then, maybe I didn't realize it, but I know now, which I knew then.
Right.
But anyway, sold slap out. What do you think he paid me?
Sold out. How many
Sold
people?
out third from the last match.
How many people?
How many people in the arena?
You think?
How many tickets sold?
10 to
10,000?
15.
15,000?
So
Yeah.
in
Back in
reality, I would
1980
think you would have been paid $10,000.
Well, you wouldn't have made that much anyway, but he paid me $150.
$150.
Wait.
I can, and I told Mr. Barnett, I said, Mr. Barnett, I said, I don't mind traveling. I said, but I can go to Carrollton, Georgia for you, and be to D Ford's the bar and make more money for you and have a good time, you know. Crockett didn't like me, you know, for what reason, I don't know, because I was a wild-eyed Southern boy. You know, and that might have been the problem. I was wild back then. But I always come, whether it was 10 minutes or an hour. I always did my job.
But Mr. Tommy Rich, Tommy, I'm a little concerned about you.
Please, Monty, don't call me Mister again. Every time somebody calls me Mister, I have to assume position.
We always hear about the tough life of the pro wrestler, right? They got some documentaries out there. It was very tough on the road. And, you know, from being on the outside, I think we spoke about this in the green room. I was like, what was so tough about being a pro wrestler? You went on the road. Women loved you. I'm sure everywhere you ate, they gave you free food. What was so tough about it?
I was one of them guys, I mean, we wrestled 6-7 days a week, but you look at some of the guys that went to the gym and stuff.
Sure.
I mean, I'd go every now and then, have a health drink.
Right.
But a lot of, I mean, it was hard on the road for a lot of guys. I mean, I could see where it'd be hard. But see, there again, I was blessed. I wrestled right there in Georgia and Tennessee. You know, some guys you might go to Florida for 6 months to a year, and then you had to pack up and move to Texas or somewhere. Where me, I was, just so blessed and lucky that, I went to Georgia and you stay so long and you do get burned out. And so, but I would go home to Tennessee. So it was, it was all good to me. It was all a party, I'm going to tell you. Even just wrestling for an hour, man, to just get to go out there and get in the ring and the people buy what you're selling, man, that's what it's all about. You had to slow down and smell them roses, man, and like today, it's just so fast, people. I just, I don't see how they get it. I mean, I did it at the best time in the world, man, and had so many good coaches or whatever, that it just, I have nothing, I mean, you do hear people sour about the business. I mean, and I've had ups and downs too. I mean, I've been broken a broke stink dog, but I wouldn't take nothing in the world for it.
How did Paul Heyman treat you? Just curious.
I met Paul when he come to Georgia. To Tennessee. He came to Tennessee. Was where he first got a place managing. Managed me and Austin Idol. Paul was always good. And I'm glad I got to wrestle when I did.
Right.
Because 40 years from now, ain't nobody gonna know none of them. In 40 years, they still know Tommy Rich.
Damn straight. Would Tommy Rich, Buzz Sawyer, Steel Cage go over with today's audience?
Buzz Sawyer invented the Hell in the Cell. That's where that come from. That's that lost tape for 20, 30 years that they finally found. I mean, it was raw. It was raw. Paul Ellering up over the ring in the cage, then they throwed some fence over the top. That's where all that stuff started from. I might not be in the Hall of Fame in WWE, but every time they do one of them things, they'll call me and ask me to do an interview, I could tell them kiss my, but hey, that's business.
Right. Yes. So we don't really know Roddy Piper. He comes from Portland, is in Georgia, makes his mark as a announcer.
Right.
Gets in a big feud with you. Tell us a little bit about Roddy Piper, the man.
Man, oh man.
A good family man, loved his family. God, And each of, I mean, me and Roddy run the roads together. I mean, it just, there's another one gone too early. I mean, Roddy, and Roddy just, I met his son, very good kid, very respectful. You know, it's sad that we've lost so many around my age, man. I mean, and you could go on and you could list a lot of them. Big Terry Gordy, man, one of the best in the business, man. He went way too early. I mean, God, I went, San Antonio, Gino Hernandez. I went to Houston, and I met Gino. I mean, Chris Adams, man. It's just it's sad that so many is gone, and all of them's in my age group. I mean, it's one thing to get old and you pass away, but it's hard, to look at it. I mean, it's sad.
Ric Flair or Harley Race, who's better and why?
Wow.
Putting you
Wow.
on the spot. But
You are
that's
on the
good, that's
spot.
good.
You're on the spot.
Bottom line is,
Do it. Do it.
whether it's Monty, Pharaoh, or me, Harley Race would wrestle your style, and my style. Rick would wrestle his style. And that's best of the best. But a general is Harley Race.
Sometimes love is like a slow dance. You can tiptoe around, but don't make a sound. You can make a little solid romance. Sometimes love sounds like a fight. It sounds like an argument. It sounds just like a pile driver. Yeah, pile driver. Sometimes love, what you feel like, it just feels fake. That's right. First you think you're so strong, but something goes wrong. It feels like a great big mistake. Sometimes love feels just right. It feels so real. It feels just like a pile driver. Yeah, pile driver. You're right beside her. Your heart's on fire. She's got you hardwired. Higher, pile driver. Yeah, pile driver. Hit it, boy. Well. Sometimes love feels just right. It feels so real. It feels like a power driver. Yeah, power driver. Yeah, power driver. Ooh, power driver. Yeah, we out. Thank you.
We have the great Koko Beware, sir. Thank you for coming in.
Tell me about High Energy with Owen. What memories do you have to share with Owen Hart for us?
Owen Hart was a great. He was the whole family. I want to say just go back. Let's go with the whole Hart family was great to me.
Owen better than Brett?
They was the same.
Okay.
They gave me the respect, and that's all I can ask for. Even with Stu Hart or whatever, his dad loved me. I wasn't that type of bully guy. I wasn't that guy that thought I was badass.
Your thoughts when Owen fell from the ceiling?
Well, I thought that was when I heard about it. I was hurt. I was hurt over it, and I said, "What happened? What happened? Something must have. They didn't do something right."
Do you think they should have stopped the show?
Well, I think they should have.
Why?
Because there was something. If something happened to one of you all, right now,
Okay.
You think this broadcast still going to go on the same night, knowing that your best friend just died, just fell out of the chair, and here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we still going on with the broadcast. Is that fair?
So, Koko, you're a Hall of Famer, well-deserved. You were one of the great entertainers in professional wrestling. But I'm sure you're aware, a lot of fans, they felt like before you should have been inducted, wrestlers like San Martino or Ivan Koloff should have gone in before you. You're human, right? You feel, you hurt, right? And those kind of comments, I imagine, could bother you. What's your feedback to the fans out there that say these type of things, maybe these pro wrestling experts?
That's the player haters. They're part of the devil's den. They even hate their own self. They hate their own self doing something nice. They even hate their own friends. They only hate their own relationship, kinfolks, their families. They hate for them to grow. That's why when people say something like that, they hate to see you guys grow. Nobody wants to see you two guys there grow. And I went in my shirt pocket and I flipped out this Polaroid picture. Mm-hmm. And I showed it to Vince. He said, "You want to carry a bird around?"
Wow.
And I said, "Yes."
Wow.
I said, "Vince, this here is going to help me to get over. This here is going to help me to get up there, stay up there with Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Ronnie Piper, all the big stars."
You know, we lost Butch.
Right.
Can you tell us some stories about Butch at all?
Butch, he was just a good character. If you know Butch, he always loved to crack jokes and stuff like that. He loved to drink and stuff like that. I mean, and he's so easy to really get him upset, and because it don't take much to get him going. I mean, he'll fight in a minute. I mean, you talking about somebody a fight, you kind of just say the wrong thing, it's on.
Right.
But other than that, he's a sweetheart.
You speak to him in later days, towards the end of his life, were you guys still?
You know what? No, we did not, because I didn't know. I saw him like every 6 months, just sometime 8 months, and he was getting involved with him and his son. They was together, and of course every time we ran into each other, it was just like a family reunion. We loved each other, loved on each other, and stuff like that. And then at the end of the night, okay, we all got to depart.
When you got that chance to wrestle Savage, was it scripted like all the other wrestlers said, or was he said, "Okay, let's just do our thing"? Did he write out a script and tell you move for move what needed to be done?
Well, that's the way Randy was programmed. I mean, he was programmed when him and Steamboat did WrestleMania 3. I mean, Randy he didn't believe in no mistakes in the ring or whatever. That's the way his talent was. Randy was really a hard worker.
No one else was doing this, though, at the time.
Not as much as Randy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There was guys that they knew the finish, they knew some spots, but Randy would just go from one step at a time. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. All the way. Take it home.
Have icon pro wrestling treasure, Jose Luis Rivera in studio. Yeah, baby. But I got to be honest with you, right?
Yeah,
when you're
come
wearing
on.
a mask and stuff, you got to hide your identity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you eat sandwiches
With
with
the
your
mask?
mask on,
With the mask on.
keep it on, or
Yeah.
Do ice cream with a mask on.
What happens? Does it go down your cape?
That was a commercial that I do for the WWF ice cream, so that we had to eat it. Wow.
how hot was that outfit?
Well, but you get used to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that
like you're a big guy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you're wearing that thing. You must have lost like 50 pounds every time.
Sort of, yeah.
so? You get to Allentown. So what happened? How'd you break in with Senior?
Well, first, when they put me Juan Lopez, I don't like the way Juan Lopez. I don't like the way they treat people. You know, they don't respect you or give me a body so he could work with this guy. And so I spent about a couple of months and I left. I went to Independent Wrestling, New Jersey. I spent there a couple of years. I went back in 81, or the end 81, 82. So then I went there. I went by myself. I take my bag, got in there, and that's it. They told me, who sent you here? Nobody. I just came by myself. Okay. That's it. If we need you, we call you. Okay, I will take my bag and put it in the side. So they called me that I work with Ivan Pusky. Say, you want to work with Ivan Pusky? Okay, I work with anybody. So they put me with Ivan Pusky, and it's a great match. It's in YouTube, some play. Mac Rivera, Ivan Pusky. That day they let me the name by Mac Rivera.
Really
I used the
There
Mac
you go.
Rivera. So
Okay.
How was
So-
Putski? Was he hard to work with? I've heard rumors he.
Well, he liked the way I work with him because when he give me a close line or something, I go back to the throw roll down.
Hey, you made him look
Right
good.
now,
You made
nobody
him
do
look
that.
really
When I
good.
was there, nobody do that.
Right.
Nowadays they do everything, but by that time, to come out flying from the third row with a close line or with the bookie, the Polish power.
You worked for Vince Jr., Vince Sr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
In your opinion, what's the difference between the two?
Oh, from here to the sky.
From here to the
Explain. Get a little
sky?
deeper. What's
Okay.
here to the sky?
Well,
What is Vince Sr.? What is Vince Jr.?
Vince Senior is like a lady, you know. He's smooth. He treat you the way you are. Vince Junior, he let it go whatever come up from him. So the man take care of you. The man told me, hey, would say don't worry about Mac because they call me Mac. But he was the one who told me to change my name because he was Mac. Say that's my name, Mac Rivera. No, my name is Mac. I'm Mac Man. You have to get another name, a Spanish name. That's why I came with okay, my son's name is Jose Luis. Can I use Jose Luis Rivera? Oh, that's a Spanish name? Look it out this way. We got 3 million people in Puerto Rico. 2 million named Jose. That's a Spanish? You say, okay, I got it.
But just to recap, you're Mac Rivera.
Oh my God.
Senior says to you, no, you can't use that
Mac.
because I am Vince McMahon. You
Miss
cannot.
Mac. My name is Mac. I'm Mac Man. You have
That
to get a
is-
Spanish
that-
name.
that's
Yeah, Vince, that's
bizarre.
my name, Mac
What
Rivera. No.
What is going on?
What about Junior?
Junior.
Is Junior too rough?
Well, the thing is when the main events, when the old man, the main event don't show up. So now if the main event don't show up, being Junior fired at the moment. Get the get
No,
up.
you're fine. Go ahead. It's fine.
Go ahead. But Senior give you a break, you know. It's that's why everybody do whatever they want there. But when Bean take over, Junior take over, everything change. We're gonna do a gold outfit, everything gold, the mask and everything, both everything gold. Then what we don't have was the name, because Jose said, "What name we gonna?" Jose said, "Oh, we're gonna do the solid gold, 14 and 18 karat solid gold."
Yeah.
So we went with Vince. Okay, what name? Okay, we gonna do the. You say no. Howard say I'm gonna get your name, Howard Finkel. Okay, you're gonna be the Conquistador. Say what the hell, a Conquistador? What a Conquistador? Yeah, that's gonna work, Conquistador. And they work.
It did work.
They work.
It was huge.
Yeah,
It did work.
It's huge.
Was there any tease of you getting the belts or anything like that? You know, like
that was
when-
the deal before. But somebody told him, this guy could work you 3 times in the day. The other guy worked 2 times in the day. If we made them champion, then we're not going to get it. We're going to get just 1 title. We could use Jose Estrada. We could use Jose Luis, Mac Rivera, Black Demon, whatever. But we put in with a belt. But that was the idea. We came up with the same day that we came with a Conquistador gimmick, we were with a Dynamite and Davey Boy Smith. That was fair match. We came with all the golden outfit was great, and then they changed everything.
What is your memories of Andre, and how smelly were his farts?
They called me when Andre come to New York. I had to go and pick it up. When I was in Puerto Rico, he was in Puerto Rico in '93 by the fair when I was there for a couple of months. So he used to ride with me. I got a big band and he came with me. And I used to drive every time.
He fit in the van.
So, yeah,
Big van.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So
he
what was
fits
it
there,
like,
so-
traveling with Andre?
And when he come down to where we were in New York, they called me to go and pick Andre wherever he is. So they rent me a car and I pick up, take him to the matches. He was in I wrestled Andre a couple of times.
Wow.
And he
Were you afraid? I mean, he's so big. One false move and you're crushed. I mean, how hard is that working with a guy that size?
Well, I told Andre what to do when I want to wrestle him. I go to him and say, okay, Andre, we're going to do this. I'm going to take you, I'm going to throw you to the road, I'm going to give you a bad drop. You get up, I give you a grand drop kick, you go out. Okay, boss, no problem.
Wow.
And we go to the dressing, to the room, to the ring. When I got in the ring, he put me in the corner. I say, what you want me to do? I say, I was joking. Whoop! He gave me a kick, like 2 hands in my check. I start, what you want me to do? I say, I was joking. I was kidding with you. That was, he go in the corner. He got it when he was in the dressing room. And he go like this. I start running out of there.